Hey you guys, so today's video is going to be something new for me. I've never done a video quite like this before, and I hope it goes over well because I feel like I've done a lot of videos lately talking about a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't buy or I'm not interested in. So I thought I would talk a little bit about all of the things, products that are out right now, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and suss out kind of maybe things that are not so great, I don't understand the point of, and maybe even the things that are kind of like tempting me a little bit. Before we get started, you guys can probably tell I recently cut my hair. I cut it last week. I'm not quite used to it yet, but hair is just not my thing. Like when it was long, I couldn't do anything with it. Now that it's shorter, it's still giving me problems because it's hard to get my hair to hold any kind of style or shape. Like this is my natural hair color and my hair is naturally very straight. So like texture is just not something I can get unless I bleach it. So I think I'm gonna bleach it soon. I also recently got my ears pierced. I'm a grown-ass woman and do not have any earring holes. And I recently went and got two. I'm gonna do like the whole thing. I want all of the earrings. I'm just that type of person that I won't do anything for a long time and then I start and I just do it balls deep. So anyway, you guys aren't here to hear me talk about my hair and my earrings. Let's just get started, and I'm gonna start off with the good. I have notes on my phone and pictures on my phone, so if you see me looking down, that's what I'm looking at. These are called the Huda Beauty Neons palette. If these things work, they look really dope. And I honestly, as far as Huda Beauty's line goes, I've tried a few things. I've tried about 3 things, and none of them I feel very passionate about. I'm not the biggest fan. Like I don't really like the marketing. I don't really like the packaging. There's nothing about the line that calls to me, but these bad boys do, because I feel like neon eyeshadow isn't something we see a whole lot of. We might see brights and things like that, but a true vivid neon, which is very in right now, especially in fashion, like I don't feel like I've seen a lot of this before. The one that interests me the most is this green one, because in general, I feel like green eyeshadow isn't something you see a whole lot of. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the green one, I feel like is probably gonna be very hit or miss because it's kind of a pale shade as opposed to the vivid kind of neon, like fuchsia colors. You guys will have to let me know if you've seen anyone use this green neon palette and tell me if it works. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not buying any of this stuff anyway, but I'm not gonna lie, these neon palettes look pretty tasty to me. The next thing I wanna talk about is this Charlotte Tilbury Glow Gasm palette. The whole thing is beautiful to me, like from the packaging to just the way the powders look inside of the packaging. I know that I'm typically not the biggest fan of palettes in general. I tend to naysay eyeshadow palettes and I definitely naysay contour palettes, but for some reason a glowy palette, I will get excited about that. And this one, especially because I love Charlotte Tilbury so much as it is, it's really testing me to not pick this one up. I am just drawn to this thing like a moth to a flame. Do you know what I'm saying? It's so beautiful. Next are these Hourglass lip glosses. I've said it 100 times. Hourglass and Charlotte Tilbury are my favorite brands, and I put these releases in the section of the video in general to show you that even though I'm the biggest person to be like, you don't need any nude lip gloss and you don't need face palettes, like I can be drawn into very specific types of products from very specific brands. Not all of them get me, but Hourglass definitely does. Because like I do not need any more lip gloss. I do not need any more $30 lip gloss, but it's Hourglass. And if they wanted to throw me up on PR, I wouldn't be mad at it, just saying. The Lime Crime Wet Cherry lip glosses. Now, I know a couple years ago, Lime Crime was definitely not a fan favorite. I think they've been kind of consistently a more problematic brand. I don't know how that's going right now. I don't know if there's been any improvements to ownership or to who's running it or who the face, I don't know anything about it, but I want these lip glosses for some reason. And I think it's because they are so incredibly 90s. And I grew up in the 90s and in the early 2000s. Like I was a little kid in the 90s and I was this weird child who hoarded teen magazine, and every dollar that I got, if it was from like babysitting or for my birthday, I went and bought makeup, like whatever version I was allowed to have at the time. And roller lip gloss was big back then. Like there was this Naturistics vanilla lip gloss that if I close my eyes, like I can still feel it and taste it. Like I'm a sucker for nostalgic makeup. I have such a soft spot for anything like that, and this might not even be functional. It might not even be a product that I like. I think I made a comment in a video a long time ago where I said that when brands like start to throw nostalgic things, you know what I'm talking about, like Mac will do, they did Selena, or Mac will do like Mariah Carey, or Tarte will do rainbows, and I think Pure Cosmetics did My Little Pony. Like, they're throwing things out at you to kind of get you to be like, oh, I love My Little Pony, so I love this makeup. Like that kind of thing, and I don't normally get into it, but this 90s kind of trend they're doing, it's tempting me a little. I'm not gonna break, but if I was not on a no buy, I think I picked some of it up. Now we're going into the bad. So we're separating it up into the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good, obviously the good. The bad is probably gonna be things that, like, I don't know, maybe it's just something I think is kind of silly, maybe it's redundant, maybe it's not well thought out, and then the ugly will be things that I just think maybe are either problematic or a ripoff or something like that, or maybe it's just flat out ugly. So that's kind of the categories we're going with. So as far as the bad is concerned, the first thing I have on that list is the Becca Cosmetics Champagne Pop Collection for about the 15th time. I swear to God, I remember that in 2015 when the original one launched, there was at least 3 or 4 more champagne glow, champagne palette, champagne splits. Like, they were trying to milk that champagne train for as long as they possibly could. And I know that like a year or so ago, they did this also. I feel like I vividly remember they released a champagne pop collector's edition, and there was like a champagne bottle embossed on it. Do you guys remember that? And now they're doing it again, and like I just don't get it, because I don't know who is still buying these launches. I kind of feel like at this point, if you don't own Champagne Pop, you just don't want to. And they're just continuing to re-promote it year after year after year. I just feel like it's lazy. I feel like it's kind of uninspired, and I just don't understand. It must be selling if they can keep pushing it out year after year. I mean, it's a good product. Champagne Pop is a good product. I just don't know who this is for. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Okay, the next thing I have on my list isn't a product, it's more just a buzzword or a trend that I'm seeing going around a lot, and that is CBD beauty. I am a big lover of CBD. I've been taking it as a supplement for about a year now, because I think I've said it only 100 million times that 2018 was a very stressful year for me, and I didn't really want to try to go immediately to any kind of prescription drugs for my anxiety and depression, so my therapist recommended I try CBD first, and it's worked wonders for me. I still take it every day. Just see this happen all the time, where some sort of wellness kind of buzzword starts to circulate and everyone tries to capitalize on it. Like, we've seen it with coconut oil. There was a good 2 years there where everything had coconut oil. Then it was collagen. Like, everybody started bringing out food products, supplement products, and topical products with collagen, which I have a lot of kind of, I don't know, I feel a little side-eye about. And the same thing with clean beauty. Like, that word doesn't really mean 100% of what I think people believe it means. But anyway, I feel like CBD beauty is kind of following that same formula. There are studies to suggest that CBD, when applied topically to the skin, can help reduce inflammation, which makes sense to me, just based on the sheer nature of what CBD does internally for you. However, I just feel like it's so oversaturated now. There's no way, in my opinion, that all these products have enough CBD to do what it's supposed to do, or at least do it well enough to justify the price point of it. Like I said, I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying there's a lot of it out there right now. So if you're going to invest in a CBD beauty product, I would do a lot of research about what quantities of that active ingredient have to be present in order to give you any actual benefit. I would really I would suss out what the real stuff is and what the hype sphere stuff is. You'll know it when you see it. So yeah, I wouldn't put this in the ugly category, but I would definitely want to kind of give a word to the wise before you jump on this or any other kind of trendy bandwagon that's going around. Sorry if my energy's really low today, you guys. My allergies are killing me and I'm starving. So I'm like a hollow shell of the person I normally am today. I apologize. So the next thing is this guy right here. This is kind of high-end body glitter that's being brought out right now. On the one hand, the 90s kid in me, once again, is very attracted to this because I just said in the beginning of the video that I'm not super prone to getting excited about products that are meant to evoke some kind of like emotion from me, particularly nostalgia. But with 90s makeup, I can't help it. It's just what I cut my teeth on. It's what kind of inspired me to love makeup in general, was roller lip gloss, body glitter, body splash. You know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I just don't understand what about this particular body glitter makes it worth the price that it costs, because I'm willing to bet they never just like completely stopped selling body glitter. You could probably get it at like Five Below or something like that. So it's just one of those things where it's like these companies are kind of figuring out that, oh, the 90s trend is happening, so let's get in on this. We can charge this much for it, so why wouldn't we? Plus, festival kids every year, once it starts to be like Coachella time, they just start dousing themselves in glitter. That's probably another person they're marketing to. If this was cheaper, maybe I'd get into it. Maybe if I was like in my early 20s, I would get into it also, because it's not like I'm gonna wear body glitter to go to Hobby Lobby, so I'm definitely not the target audience. But I don't know, man. Like, if you want body glitter, you guys tried this, tell me if it makes sense that anyone would charge this much for effing body glitter, and I'll humbly retract my statement. But I can't decide what would make this body glitter be worth the price versus like a $5 body glitter you could find somewhere else. So anyway, that's another makeup release I'm kind of not too excited about. Maybe it's not that I'm not excited about it, I'm just confused by it. The next thing is Kylie Skin. I have been asked so many times to review this, to talk about this, blah, blah, blah. I do not care at all about Kylie Jenner's makeup line. I have talked about this before. I don't think I'm the target audience in the first place. On top of that, there's something about her line that gives me merch vibes, where it's kind of like, do you remember when you were a little kid and you had Barbies, and then Barbie would come out with her makeup line, her Barbie makeup kits or her Barbie bath stuff? That's kind of what it feels like. Like, it feels like merch to me. It doesn't feel like an actual product that would interest me for any reason. But especially when it comes to the skincare line, because once again, not the target audience. I need the stuff. Give me the stuff. I need the active ingredients. I don't need like a walnut scrub and a toner. That's not going to do anything for me. I think this is for people, I would imagine for teens, early 20s, who do not have a skincare routine, want to start one, don't want to have to go and find bit by bit by bit. They just want a one-stop shop of a skincare regimen, the effectiveness of which I don't know they would even know the difference of. Like, if you've never had any experience with skincare, you're not going to know truly whether this is good or bad. In that sense, like from a marketing standpoint, from a business standpoint, I guess she's probably touched on something that I don't think any other companies have kind of started working out. I don't see a lot of other companies targeting skincare kits, bundles to kids. But it's not for me. Like, I don't want anything to do with this. I think I have one Kylie Jenner makeup product. It's a lip kit. Me and my daughter bought some for Christmas because she wanted one, so I got one too. I've used it a few times. It's okay. But that's where it's going to end for me. Like, don't think I'm ever going to buy Kylie Jenner. So I'm sorry if you're hoping to hear an actual review of that. It's not going to come from this girl. Okay, and speaking of weird skincare that I don't really understand, this product is weird to me. This is called watermelon milk. It seems to have okay, I've tried to understand what's going on with this line. Somehow I get the impression that it has something to do with ColourPop. I don't know if it's like their brand or like their sister brand or a division of ColourPop. Something, I get the impression it's got something to do with ColourPop. I don't know what, but anyway. Why I don't really get excited about Sephora skincare, any skincare like this in general, is because I don't like products that have names like watermelon milk. Like, I saw one the other day that was called like the buzzword for that was like volcano water or volcano. Yeah, it was volcano water. For the most part, anything that I buy, I care about the actives, all the branding and the fragrance and the fun little cute packaging and the words. Like, don't do anything for me. And what the F is watermelon milk anyway? Like, I understand the point is that, oh, it's the hydrating essence of milk and watermelon. And listen, if you're at the point where you're buying products to put on your face because you've got it in your head that watermelon and milk might do something for your skin, then why don't you just make something like this at home? Does that make sense what I'm trying to say? I don't care that it's only like 12 bucks. In some ways, I think that the more inexpensive makeup out there might be a little bit more slippery, a little bit more dangerous, because you can justify to yourself buying something, but just because something is inexpensive doesn't mean it's worth even that much money. I don't know anything about this line. I don't know anything about this product. Like I said, this is just reactions to stuff. And to me, this seems like something for teens. Again, it doesn't seem like I'm the target audience for it anyway, but I'm just saying I'm not interested. This is the area of the video that I'm going to be most negative, because I know being negative is like the worst thing you can be on the internet. But yeah, this is stuff I really don't understand. So if you're like diehard for these brands or products, don't get up in your feelings. Like, it's just my reaction and my first impression. So the first thing I want to talk about is Glamlite Cosmetics. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of videos in my suggested lately of YouTubers reviewing makeup, and I always keep seeing the title saying like pizza makeup or burger makeup, and I didn't really know what was going on, but now I know what it is and I just don't understand it. Eyeshadow palettes are already the most boring and most oversaturated thing in the world to me, but I can't believe there's a company out there that's sitting around and they're like, well, girls like makeup and girls like pizza. I'm already not super into any product that is relying this hard on a gimmick to sell their product, which, to be fair, in the age of social media and in the beauty community, like, there is so much going on. It's hard to get attention. I understand that, but where realistically can you go with this? I feel like companies are putting out stuff now that they know influencers will review just because they know the title of the video will be crazy. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gimmicky and it's very intentionally gimmicky. This just screams money grab to me. I don't think the packaging is aesthetically pleasing. The color story isn't doing anything for me. You have plenty of eyeshadow palettes. Don't buy this. The next thing is this Pharsalia turmeric eye cream. I feel like I go in on Pharsalia somehow when I look back on some of my videos. They're definitely a brand that doesn't do anything for me in the first place. And this is a really good example of what I was talking about before with the CBD oil thing. Like, turmeric had a really big year last year in the wellness space. So now we're putting it in eye cream. First of all, this eye cream packaging is very unsterile and unstable to me. I don't like the idea of sticking my hands in anything for the most part to put on my face, but definitely not near my eye, number one. And number two, once again, if there are benefits to turmeric that you want to topically apply to your skin, why don't you just make something yourself? I don't think that the potency of this can be so strong that, outside of the fact that there's nice little fillers in it and emollients and like it might smell nice and feel good on the skin, I just can't imagine this product is doing wonders and changing the eye cream game. Let's get real. That's not what's happening here. And that's the thing about the packaging too that really gets me. Like, I feel like that's their whole thing, right? Like, they're always got applicators that are drippy or something that once you use it on camera, you can very clearly see what you're doing with that product. I'm really surprised I didn't find a way to do it like a pump so you could put it underneath your eye on Instagram, which is what they're counting on. I just do what you will with that information. I just don't understand why anybody would be into this. Honestly, I don't. The next thing is complicated for me, and it's this collaboration with I guess the company is called Incredible. I don't really know. I've never heard of this brand before, but they came out with this Baddie Winkle collaboration. Let me just start off by saying that I love Baddie Winkle. She has an interview on Refinery 29, which I'll link down below, that every time I watch it, it just brings me so much joy. I love the idea of this woman, a very mature woman who has this amazing social media presence and career, because once you get past like your mid to late 30s, even my age, I'm 33 and people call me old all the time on YouTube and Instagram, and I'm not. Like, I'm not. So the fact that she's thriving in this industry now is so cool to me. I love her, but I don't know what the crap is going on with this collaboration. This company is truly counting on Miss Baddie to like run this show, to sail this ship, to float this boat. So the brand itself, when I look at them, they have like 10 products of their own. None of them look interesting at all to me. And then they bring Baddie Winkle into it, and it's like, is nothing sacred? I just feel like, is there nothing we won't attach an F makeup launch to. I want Baddie to get her coin, and if this was a good launch, a good product, I might feel very differently, and this might have been in a different part of this video, but based on what they've done with it, I'm not a fan. This highlighter, what? It's a rainbow highlighter, which people don't use for a reason. I don't know anybody out here using rainbow highlighters. This is completely for the gram. Like, that's all this is. I don't feel like this brand really showed up and tried to bring out something really cool and unique. I think they did what they are already doing, which is roller lip gloss. I know I just said in the beginning of the video that I would buy this Lime Crime roller lip gloss, but Whitney, why wouldn't you buy this one? I don't know. It doesn't call to me at all. It doesn't do anything for me, and I feel like slapping Baddie Winkle on it still isn't making me want to buy it. But one of the parts of this collab ties into another problematic item that's out on the market right now. So the Baddie collection has booby sheet masks. So I get that they're supposed to look like pasties, but I have a problem with that for two reasons. Number one, makeup is not a toy, and that's what it feels like. It kind of goes back to what I said about the Kylie Skin thing. It feels like a little toy that we're playing with. But the fact that now our boobs need a mask, like need to be perfected somehow, and now companies are trying to sell that to us, infuriates me. They're not the only ones that are doing it. There's this other company right here. These are butt masks. So I saw these at Ulta the other day, and I am so confused. Who asked for this? Number one, companies will generate a flaw if they can. Like, they will convince you that there is something wrong with you, so profoundly wrong with you, that they have just the solution to fix it for you. And now that, like, we have butt and boob masks, it really sits wrong with me. This idea that we have miles of skin and endless amounts of parts that need to be perfected. I hate that message so completely. I mean, a man's butt, you ever seen a pristine man butt situation? They're usually hairy and bumpy, and like, we have to have masks. We need to do squats. We gotta get butt injections. We gotta toochie pooch for the gram, and now we gotta put a mask on it. I'm sorry, I think this is garbage. Please do not support this. Like, there has got to be a line that we draw as women in this community and in the beauty industry where we say, like, we're not gonna sit here and be made to feel like from stem to stern, there's just a myriad of things wrong. I just hate this. This is the one thing I would say out of this entire video that actually got me like heated. Everything else I kind of could side eye or just not really understand. But this stuff, I don't think it's okay. I'm really disappointed that it even exists at all. But if you're trying to convince me that it's just a nice, relaxing, blah, blah, no, that's not what's happening here. This is insidious and I don't like it. All right, you guys, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of videos. I would love it if you guys own any of these products. If you could tell me down below how they're working out for you, if you enjoy them. Help each other out. That's always what I'm trying to do, is shed a little light, change the conversation a little bit about all of this stuff we're being sold all the time. But that's just me. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. As I try to say in every video, take what you need and leave what you don't. These are all just my opinions, and I ain't trying to hurt anyone's feelings, but since these are inanimate objects, I don't expect that everyone's gonna get really defensive over a product. That just, surely we're smarter than that. We're better than that. Anyway, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Make sure you check the down bar for links to all my social media platforms, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.